Hi, Analisa Six here with the Lady of Leo shirt and the Sober Curator to bring you the June 2024 horoscope for the zodiac sign of Cancer for sun and rising placements. Cancer, we're almost in your season. We just have the first half of June to get through, and then we're going to be in the cardinal waters of Cancer. So let's talk about June. So we start out every June in the mutable air sign of Gemini. And where Gemini hits in the Cancer horoscope is the area that has to do with your subconscious. So it's the 12th house that Pisces traditionally rules, but in the Cancer horoscope, Gemini lands here. So, having a 12th house Gemini energy can lend itself to more anxiety, overthinking. We can feel like our emotions might be getting away from us a little bit at times, but it's also a really powerful area for manifestation when it comes to creating visions and ideas. Like it's almost like you have so many ideas passing through during the beginning of June that it's hard to pin them all down and see them as tangible. This is a really positive time, though, for you to be brainstorming. Like brainstorming, I feel like is Cancer's tagline for June. So the reason why I'm saying this is because what's passing through your 12th house in the sign of Gemini at the start of June is Jupiter, Venus, and the Sun. And Venus does really well in this house, and Jupiter is the ruler of this house. And so, the 12th house being connected to our dream world, the imagination, the subconscious. There's a lot of ability for us to go deep within the imagination, subconscious waters, and pull out these ideas that kind of feel ethereally channeled, if that makes sense. If you're somebody that meditates or is, prone to a lot of downloads of ideas, you might feel like this is ramped up during this time. That can lend itself to feeling scattered and like you don't know what direction to go in with things. But I would say instead of thinking so much about needing to lock things down, just, like at a brainstorming session, they'll say kind of just like throw it all out there and then edit or fine tune after. That's how this energy of the beginning of the month is for you on multiple levels. So it's going to be an individual journey for you. Only you are the only one that can tell the way that needs to go for you in terms of what this is bringing up for you in your life. But you have still so much energy starting the month out in your house of career that I'm sure a lot of this has to do with some of those themes. So, if we think about kind of where you've had Mars passing through the 10th house of career with the North Node and Chiron here. That really amplifies your identity at work. Like, who am I at work? What's my public image? How am I putting myself out there? And then, you're finishing that stint up at the beginning of June before Mars enters Taurus. So there's just a lot of amplification around those thoughts, those themes, if that makes sense. I hope that I'm making sense with that. Mercury is going to be joining the Gemini party on the 3rd. So starting out June, we have Mercury in Taurus for 2 days. And then on the 3rd, Mercury joins the Gemini party. So then you're going to have Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and the Sun all in the 12th house and really amplifying your imagination, your thought process, your dreams, all of those things. This is also a really positive time for healing any trauma from the past that feels karmic and feels like maybe even past life related, not just this life. Because you have so much here, you are more prone to anxiety and you are prone to escapism in unhealthy ways. So those of us who are in recovery, it's important that you find your anchor. Finding your anchor is going to be hard this month. It's going to be a time where you feel like there's a lot getting away from you, a lot of ideas, a lot of places to go, things to do. So you're going to have to really carve out time to get grounded and find stability because it's not going to happen for you. That's definitely something you have to bring into the equation. On June 6th, we have a new moon at 16 degrees, right? Let's see, June 6th, 16 degrees of Gemini, new moon. And so it's hitting that area of the 12th house. New moons are a great time to set intentions. And so this is a positive time for you to set intentions around 12th house themes. This can be around addictions, this like healing things around addiction. This can be around the past life healing, subconscious healing. If you are somebody that is experiencing anxiety or a lot of ideas or feeling very scattered, you can set intentions towards wanting to hone in on that creative process and make it more grounded for yourself. And maybe writing out ways that you can do that. You know, I know for me, I've had a lot of scattered energy going on since Gemini season. Well, I've had it for a while, but one of the things I keep failing to do is just write out a schedule for myself around my creative energy and my work stuff. Like I have a calendar and everything that I have to do is in my calendar, but then I have all these little things I need to get done that I'm not listing out. And I'm failing to kind of like ground it by writing it down and being like, okay, I'm going to spend this amount of time on this and this amount of time on this. Cause it's all kind of these like vague creative projects that I can do in my own time. And so sometimes, you know, when we have a lot of this Gemini meets Pisces imagination energy that's influencing this area of the chart, we have to really carve out the time to apply ourselves towards the things that are more vague, if that makes sense. After that moon on the 6th, on the 9th, Mars is going to enter Taurus and enter the area of your chart that has to do with community, friendship, and group association. So your social life gets really amplified for the rest of June, starting on the 9th. So expect there to be a lot of energy socially within friends. There's also a lot of potential for conflict when Mars is here. So that's something that you want to watch out for. So you know, Mars in Taurus can be a really positive energy for practical application of things, getting grounded with things. But in a group environment, sometimes when we're trying to assert what we think the plan should be, that doesn't always go with what other people think. And so there's some opportunity for there to be some butting happening during this time. After that, we have Venus and Mercury now entering your sign. Sorry, my dog is coughing up some water right now. But Venus will enter Cancer on the 17th along with Mercury, and Venus is our planet that represents relationships. So Venus is going to be leaving the 12th house and going into your first house. Mercury the same day, leaving the 12th house, entering your first house. And so the first house is the house that represents our relationship to self, our relationship to our identity and how we are experiencing identity and self. I don't know if you've ever had the moment where you like look in the mirror or look on a video like this and you're like, oh my God, that's me. And it's just like you have this kind of like out of body experience where you're like tripped out that that's you. I'm a Sagittarius rising and I feel like I'm having that experience every day of my life. Like I'm always just tripped out, like these are my hands, this is my body. And then I get like really judgmental of everything. Like, why do I look like this? Why is this me? Like, you know, that kind of thing. When we're going through first house transits, those themes can kind of come up for us where we're reflecting a lot on our relationship to self, how we perceive ourselves, how we feel about ourselves. Inner critic stuff can come up for us. In Cancer, you know, we're reflecting on our emotions, like how do we take care of ourselves? How do we nurture ourselves? Mercury's perspective of self in the first house. Venus relationship to self in the first house, and how do we cultivate a strong relationship to self? How do we love ourselves? How do we take care of ourselves? How do we beautify ourselves? All of those themes are going to be coming up for you for the rest of May, starting on the 17th. So you're also going to feel kind of more of this pull inward, like your social stuff is going to be really amplified. So you might feel more of a pull inward as Venus and Mercury enter your first house. And then right after that, pretty much on the 20th, we have our summer solstice and we enter your season. So happy birthday. It's going to be Cancer season for the rest of June, starting the 20th. And that, you know, amplifies your relationship to self. It's your birthday month. It's time for you to shine. It's all about you starting on the 20th, really starting on the 17th, but especially starting on the 20th. And then right after that, on the 21st, we have our full moon at 1 degree Capricorn, which is going to be in the house that rules relationships. So your sun in the first house with Venus and Mercury is all about your relationship to self, but then the moon in Capricorn is going to be about your relationships to other people, romantically, business partnerships, and also best friendships. And the full moon is a really positive time for you to set intentions around the energy that you want to call in and cultivate when it comes to relationships. So if you're dating, you know, this might be a time where you make a list of what your ideal partner would be. If you've got some friendship dynamic stuff that you're working through, maybe you write a list of how you want to resolve that or work through it. If you're feeling a lack of community or you're feeling like you want more friends in your life that you have more of a close relationship with, this is a time where you could set intentions around how you want to manifest more of that abundance into your life. On the flip side, if you've got relationship dynamic that you are no longer wanting in your life, this is a positive time for you to set intentions around shifting that energy. And maybe there's a relationship you're walking away from. Maybe you're ending a relationship with someone, whether it's romantic or friendship. Those can also be a big theme. Also business partnership, you know, that kind of thing. The last bit of energy that we have that's a big shift is Saturn stationing retrograde in Pisces at 19 degrees until November. And so we've already had Saturn in Pisces for, you know, the whole year, but it's going to be retrograde from the end of June until November. And that's hitting the area of your chart that has to do with your values and belief systems. So those are going to come up for review for you over the remaining months that transit is happening. And so, yeah, you're going to be in a reflective period. You know, am I doing things that are in alignment with what my values and beliefs are now? All right, Cancer, that's your breakdown for the month of June. I wish you guys the best of luck. If you liked this video, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so that you can get notified on when I post these. And you can also book a reading with me if you want to do a one-on-one. I have my email in the description box. Just shoot me an email. We can schedule a reading over Zoom for you. I also can be found at ladyofleisure.com or thesobercurator.com and on Instagram at ladyofleisure. All right. I wish you all the best of luck and I will see you guys in July. Happy birthday.